Hello folks, welcome to another video. I've got a first impressions style video for you today, continuing a series of videos that probably don't hold a lot of interest to the community at large, considering I'm doing a first impressions on an aircraft that was released a few months ago. So it got all of its attention a few months ago, but I've only recently picked it up on sale, added it to the hangar, thought I'd have a look at it. It will be a genuine first impressions. I have not flown this aeroplane before this flight, so bear that in mind. It's not a review. I'm going to say that twice. It's not a review. Every man and his dog has done a review on this aeroplane. The aeroplane in question, the Embraer Phenom 100, by the developers known as Cockspur. Now, I featured one of their aircraft in a video a little while ago, their other bizjet, the Mustang. I haven't flown that much. I've done 2 or 3 flights in it. It's in the hangar, towards the back of the hangar actually, that aeroplane. However, I do love me some bizjet action, as long-term viewers to the channel will probably know. And this one on sale, I think I picked it up for $29.95 Aussie, which, well, I was going to say is reasonably priced, but that will depend on how the next 2 flights go. So it's going to be a first impressions with a difference in that I'm going to do it over 2 flights, and I'm going to try and place this aeroplane in the context of other bizjets in this sim, from my perspective, my opinion, for what it's worth, which may not be much, folks, but I'm going to try and sort of, place it, and I've got an idea about how I'm going to do that. Some of people viewing this video won't agree with how I do that, and that's perfectly okay. I don't need you to agree. Opinions are like assholes, folks. We all have one, as long as you're not an arsehole in sharing yours. Wise words once shared with me as a young man. So I'm going to do that. First impressions with a bit of a rating, contextual rating alongside other business jets even. What do you reckon? Let me show you the flight plan for the 2 flights ahead of us in this video. And here we are in little navmap. Now this will be a very simplified view of the flight plan. As I mentioned in the intro, 2 flights today. They're FS economy flights, for those of you interested. So we're taking 5 packs from our origin to our first port, and then we're picking up another 5 and taking it to our second port. Today's video has us over in Europe for a change. I haven't been there for a little while. Geez, that's a busy airspace here. How do we turn these bugger off? Can we get rid of these guys? How can I get rid of those guys? This one? There we go. We begin our journey in Romania, and I'm reticent to even try and pronounce. We're in the city of, or near the city of, Timisoara. Am I in the ballpark? Apologies to any Romanian viewers, but that's where we are. Lima Romeo Tango Romeo is the ICAO code. I think we're going to be departing off 1-1, I think, and then kind of heading in a southwesterly direction towards a place which does get a bit of attention in the old flight sim video world. Split, Croatia. Haven't been there for a while, so it is quite timely that FS Economy has given me 5 packs that want to go to Castella Airport, so Lima Delta Sierra Papa. That'll be our first leg, right? That one there. We've got 255 miles worth of flying to do, and then our second leg will take us across the Adriatic to beautiful Roma in Italia. Beautiful. Shout out to any Italian viewers that I may have. So yeah, 2-leg journey. I'll try and create a bit more life in the flight plan for the second leg. Give us something to look at on the G1000 display. But the first leg, I think we might just go direct. Nice magenta origin to destination, 255 miles, won't take us that long in the Phenom 100, and we'll explore the aircraft and all of its charms or otherwise. Let's get it started and on our way. So welcome on board, folks. I have, as usual, omitted the startup sequence from this video. If you want to learn how to start the Phenom, there are many other videos out there for you. As I said, every man and his dog did a review, a more in-depth look at this aeroplane than what I will do today. Interestingly, the developer recommends against starting this aeroplane on the runway. Apparently it won't work properly. The aeroplane won't function as it's designed if you do a runway start. I find that really quite weird. I must profess I don't understand the technical intricacies of how these aeroplanes work here in the sim, but I just find that decision strange. Perhaps they've explained it somewhere that I haven't read about. That's highly likely, actually. I'm not active at all in the flight sim forum Discordy thing. I haven't looked at Discord for a very long time, even my own Discord. So if you've communicated or attempted to communicate to me via Discord, I can only apologise. I never look at it. My website's been down for months. I have no idea if and when I'll ever get that back online. Yeah, I can only apologise. I do read the comments on videos though, so I appreciate anyone who shares their thoughts, whether they agree with me or not is not the point. I'm grateful for the contribution that you make. So I think we're pretty much right to go. We're barring up. We've got the takeoff bars in place. We've got 28,000 plugged in. We've got local barrows set. We don't have flaps set. I'm just leaving the pitch trim at 0, which I'm going to call neutral. I'm guessing that's the takeoff setting. Do we have flaps set? No, we have them set. Is that the right setting for takeoff? I'm going to assume that it is. Flaps 1. Yeah, okay. It's alright. I'm seeing flaps 5 here, but in the Phenoms it's flaps 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yeah. So I don't know why we're seeing 5 there. Is it 5 degrees? Is that... I'm guessing. Alright. Folks, first time I've flown this aeroplane. I've been out of the Phenom world for a little while. So, forgive me, as I said at the start of the video, this is not a review, folks. It's an old bloke flying the aeroplane for the first time and giving his thoughts later on in this video about where this aeroplane kind of sits in the overall, in my bizjet hangar. That's what it will be. So, heading synced. Won't worry about transponder, who really cares. We'll just zoom out the range a little bit. We'll right turn after departure. That's fine. We've got our V-speeds. Quite a few V-speeds are showing. Why have we got so many V-speeds showing? We're showing the landing ones as well, are we, or what? Not sure. Anyway, I think we're good. We'll get some lights on. Should have had some taxi light on, fella. Nav lights on. Strobies can come on. Won't worry about any of those lights. Nothing else. No cautions enunciating. I think we're pretty much good to go at this point. So we will move it into the takeoff go around detent, or mark. It's not really a detent there, is it? Away we go. Release the brakes. Gonna guess light breeze here this morning. Yeah, light crosswind from the left. Airspeed's alive. Sounds are as best I can describe them at the moment. Up through 60. Rotate it. What are we rotating at? Around about 100 or so. All those speeds, V-speeds are bunched in. About 100 in the Phenom, I think. Oh, she feels really heavy in pitch. Is that because I've got an incorrect trim setting or what? Positive rate gear up. That feels like a much heavier aircraft than what the Phenom actually is. Maybe something to do with my controller sensitivities, although the same sensitivities that I use or have used for a long time. Safely away, light breeze, very stable. It just feels like a much heavier aircraft than what it actually is. We'll go flaps up at this point, back into the climb thrust mode, which is, where's climb thrust? Where's climb thrust? Okay, we don't have climb thrust enunciating. What's happening there? We're well and truly in climb. There's climb. Why aren't we enunciating? I think we're just still showing takeoff. What's going on there? Is that a known bug? I'm going to recycle that flight director. Going to give Georgie some flying to do. Move him into heading mode. Georgie, if you don't mind. And we'll just get you turning in the right direction. Alright, we'll be towards the south for the moment. Oh geez, it's taking a while to scroll around a bit. To the south. There's 180. We'll go IAS hold Georgie, and we'll kind of maybe at 180 or something like that. We're getting bumped around a little bit now as the wind's picking up as we're gaining altitude. 180. We'll call that safely away. Take it external log. Got some action. I'm trying to jump on the cabin. My most important act is sitting up front. Oh, we're getting thrown around a bit. Just my turbulence setting here in the sim. Light breeze, 4 knots. We'll bring that heading around for an intercept of, I'll call it 270. What do you reckon? Oh, this takes forever. I'll have to go up here. Is that quicker? Oh, a little bit. Alright, 270 is what we want. Intercept heading. There we go, 270. 180 knots, climbing at 2,500 feet a minute. We're good. We're just non-enunciating climb, although we've got a climb setting. What about if I just gently touch it? Does it come back? But I've got to get it into it. There it is. It's got to be an exact slot. Ah, the joys of first impressions, folks. This is the joy of it. It's all about discovery. For an old fella. Outside. Looks like an aeroplane there. They're one of the best looking bizjets for mine. I probably prefer the 300 over the 100 for a number of reasons. But they look very smart. Nice livery this one. Hangar livery. Beautiful aeroplane. Gorgeous. Folks, I'll see you on the cruise and we'll explore more of this. Alright, settled in the cruise, flight level 280. Everything's going pretty well from what I can tell. What I would say is a general impression is that the aircraft feels heavier than what it is. I think I mentioned that as we rotate it. It's remarkably stable. Admittedly, not flying through bad weather, rough air here. There are a few. It was a bit choppy earlier on, but it just feels heavy, quite sluggish, compared to, and my reference points are other Phenoms, and more recently the Aerobasque Phenom over there in X-Plane. So compared to that, yeah, they're different aeroplanes, right, and they're different simulators, which probably comes into the mix as well. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a VLJ that it actually is. That would be my general impression. Avionics wise, the G3000, which has been modded by the developers to bring some other elements into the display, engine wise, etc. Yeah, the G1000, I should say. Nice bit of kit. I believe the later Phenoms IRL actually have a improved avionics setup to this, but the G1000, if you're familiar with that, it's available in so many different aeroplanes now. You'll feel right at home here. Cockspur have managed to, unlike with their Mustang, they've managed to get the keyboard working down here, which, to my knowledge, has not been retrofitted to the Mustang, at least not at the time of making this video. This thing's been out for a while. I'm kind of thinking, if you worked out how to do it here in the Phenom, shouldn't you have put it into the Mustang by now? I'm not sure. I think the Mustang was on sale for like $9 or something the other day. So maybe, has that been abandoned? Has it, the Mustang? I don't know. Anyway, we're here in the Phenom today, not the Mustang. It's a very simple aeroplane. These VLJs tend to be that way, right? Quite different to, for example, the Lear, the FlySimWare Lear that I've been flying and featuring perhaps too much on this channel. Really enjoy that aeroplane, one of my favourites. But yeah, it's a different style. I do have a view set up in the back, if I can remember the combo, which that one there. Oh, hello ladies. This one here looks like she's been watching too many of my videos. And this one here looks like she should watch more of my videos to calm the hell down. She looks like she's just about to sort of burst with excitement. I don't know why she's not sitting properly. Oh, that would explain it. Old mate here. Look at that, mate. You're dressed like a gentleman, but you're not acting like one. Look at that. You're taking up all that valuable space. No wonder old life here has to twist itself around. Now, I'm wondering, am I sitting on someone's lap? I am. Oh, well, kind of. Is this a bloke? A bloke with nail polish, by the looks of it, or gangrene. Can't quite tell. Anyway, I'm kind of sitting on his, well, oh, hello, jeez. Well, I'm kind of sitting on his lap / in his head. That's quite awkward, isn't it? No wonder you've turned away. It's a bloody horror show back here. There you go, folks. That's the view out of the cabin. So I've plugged in a visual approach runway 05 there at Split. Top of descent won't be too far away. We're not going to spend much time up here today. We'll get these packs, FS economy packs, on the ground before too long. Estimated time en route 22 minutes. Nice short flight. So once I get to Split, I'm going to split. You like how I did that? I'm going to split. Reflect on what I've experienced with this aeroplane. Kind of put together a bit of a list of some description for the second flight, which will take us over to Roma, and then during the course of that flight I'll share my thoughts about where I think this aircraft sits relative to other bizjets in my hangar. But before we get there, we've got an approach to fly. That'll be the next segment. Alright, concluding stages, folks. Just coming down through 4-5 on our kind of a very, very wide left circuit from runway 05 at Split, out in that direction. Beautiful part of the world here on a beautiful day. Haven't been here before in the sim. I'll just give Georgie a rest at this time, get auto flight director off. We haven't been here, I don't think, in this sim. Nice to finally get here. Down through 200 knots, 4,000 feet. We'll just extend this sort of improvised downwind leg for a little while yet. Maintain some clearance over terrain and before turning for home. It's been a fairly sort of non-eventful, almost boring descent, and the weather's been good. That's helped it to be boring, and sometimes you want it to be boring. But yeah, it's not too much to do. The aeroplane behaves itself. I wasn't using any sort of VNAV type mode. It was just vertical speed from a place. It was a little earlier than top of descent was actually showing on the map. I think I'd kind of not help myself by plugging in a visual approach, and it was kind of wanting to do some weird shit, like have me at altitudes that didn't really make sense. And they're 180 now. I think we can take flaps at about 180. We've got some wind turbines there. I might think about a turning base, folks. I think back at idle thrust, where we'll just kind of just level it a little bit, just reduce that rate of descent, get ourselves under 180. I think that's flat 1 speed in the Phenom. I think VREF's about 100, isn't it? Or just under 100, depending on weight. There's 170. There we go. Turn base. I think about 130. Roll out. Yeah, it just feels like a really easy aeroplane. No fuss, no frills kind of aeroplane. The flight hasn't caused me on this flight any dramas in terms of, I haven't noticed a performance hit or lagginess, or nothing stands out. I do remember reading when it was released, or sort of just in the aftermath there, it was quite negative, the feedback about it. And look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone has different sort of points of reference, I guess, as well. Different expectations, different standards of quality, and what they're trying to get out of their simming. You know, it's a broad church, the flight simulation community, isn't it? I'll get us on the ground and then kind of give some thought, go and do something else with my life for a while before firing up the next leg across to Italy. I'll give some thought as to where this kind of sits. I've got some initial views on that, but I'm just going to go through all the bizjets that I have in my hangar, and I think it'll be a useful exercise for me personally, just to check in. Whether it has interest to anyone else, I don't know. Doesn't matter too much. We're flaps 2, I think. Yeah, that's good. Continue to look out the window. What a beautiful part of the world. We'll fly in oblique. Yeah, here we go. We'll turn for home-ish. 140 knots. We need to reduce our altitude, of course, and increase our vertical speed to get down. Landing a new bird for the first time is always interesting, isn't it? I think I saw a video when this came out where the thing floated forever. And I don't know if it's been updated or whether that's is that a known issue with this aeroplane? That's sort of the impression I got, that she's quite floaty. Well, I take gear at this point, I think. This will slow down, a little bit choppy. The wind's kind of shifting in speed. Is that outer marker? Yeah, outer marker. We're quite high. No trouble getting us slowed down. We'll take flaps 3. And then flaps 4 once we get absolutely established on final. She doesn't want to slow. We are coming down at an enormous rate of speed, vertical speed. Reducing that will help, mate. Aerodynamics 101. Right, now we've got the speed sorted. We're coming down. We'll retrim. She's slow to trim. Now we've got that speed coming back. Still high. Right, fully configured now. Flaps still moving. Now they're set in place. The gear's down. Flaps are set. Our fingers are crossed. And our sphincter's as tight as we can get it. A little bit of breeze from the left. 110 knots. Quite stable. Quick at this point. Correcting all the white lights. Runway 05, split Croatia, folks. We don't want to float it. Right on VREF. Alright, come right off that juice now. As an aircraft enters the runway in front of us. Righto. That didn't feel floaty. That aircraft's in a hurry. Where's he going? I got distracted there. And we've got another aircraft in front of us. Jeez, we've got some kamikazes here in split Croatia, folks. Alright, welcome to split Croatia. First leg of this journey is down. We'll take flaps up. I don't know what these GA birds are doing in front. The AI traffic thing is having quite a day. I'll get us parked, folks, and then the next segment will have us departing from this location. Hopefully. If we don't get killed first. I'll see you for that segment, folks. And welcome back for part 2 of this video, folks. I am living dangerously. I have started the aeroplane on the runway just to, well, satisfy my own curiosity, see what would happen, and in case you were wondering what would happen. So, what you get when you start on the runway is something that looks like this. Now, what I've done is I've plugged in local baro, 30.24, and I've plugged in a cruise altitude of 260 for our next leg across to Rome. But other than that, this is how the aeroplane is configured when you choose to start on a runway. So, what we can see is that the parking brake is on, the hydraulic system is showing low pressure, Gen 2 is off, the oxygen is off, the Gen 2 is off the bus, the bleed 2 is off, and the bleed 1 is off. Now, all of these things can be resolved. This will change the hydraulic, get rid of that. Pumps should be on auto. That doesn't remove anything. The engines, interestingly, are in the stop position, even though they're not stopped. So really, they should be running. The engine ignition should be on auto. The bleeds should be on auto and bleed both. So that's getting rid of the bleed thing. Gen 2, interestingly Gen 1 is on, but not Gen 2. Gen 2, bus tie auto, batteries are on, and the oxygen's down here. Now with that done, we clear everything but the parking brake message. So the flaps are set, the trim is set, interestingly at 10. On the ramp it was set at 0 for the last flight. I wonder if that will help us rotate easier. Flaps are set at 1. Everything else looks okay, I think. So if I turn the parking brake off, like that, we clear all the enunciations and we should be able to depart. So that's what we're going to try and do. But first, you can see the aircraft's moving at idle. The aircraft is moving, idle thrust, folks. All of this is just for my own curiosity. Hopefully it will help others as well. We will. I've just got to get myself set in the seat. I wasn't prepared to start moving. And what I'll do is come to a stop here on the centre line. I was about to go and grab myself a bevy. No time for bevies when the ghost Phenom decides to move. Alright. Won't worry about transponder. I don't know what it does with the lights. What does it do? No, it puts all the lights on for you. Interesting, eh? You look alright from the outside? Yeah, looks right. No weird bits of equipment stuck to the fuselage. No, we're all good. Alright, let's do it, hey? Bring that thrust in, set it for takeoff. Into the takeoff mode, which is right there. Takeoff thrust is set. Away we go. Start rolling. Probably a crosswind from the left. Yep. Just as it was when we arrived. Not that long ago. Accelerating now, 360. Rotate around about 100. Different trim setting. Let's see what the effect of that will have. There's 100. And she wants to go a little easier, I have to say, than our first departure. Still requires a fair bit of back pressure to get us airborne. Gear is up. We'll fly that runway heading for a bit through 140. Get rid of those flaps around about here. We'll start making that right hand turn. It wants us overhead the split VOR. Just reduce our pitch angle there, build some speed. Back into the climb detent. Can I get it right this time? Climb detent, climb detent. I'm going very slowly. There it is. Hey, we're winning. Or we're learning, should I say. Let's continue that that right-hand turn. Overhead split VOR. To get this right, get rid of that flight director. It's annoying me. 170 knots. The banana is showing. I've got that sorted. G1000. And we do have a flight plan that looks like a real-ish flight plan. Well, whatever the Microsoft sim, you know, it does its calculations of airways and things like that. So it's given us a flight plan. I'll probably show you that. Looks kind of like that, just very quickly. Right overhead the split VOR. We'll intercept the magenta. We'll get Georgie doing some flying. Flight director Georgie, nav mode, and IAS mode, thanks mate. And we'll go that 180. Seems to be the magic number here in the Phenom. It's a number that I'm picking out of my arse, folks. But it seems like it's right. I don't know where I'm getting that from, but I'm remembering 180 as being a good number. Anyway, overhead the split VOR. We'll take an external. Just down there. The day continues to be absolutely beautiful. Beautiful afternoon here in Croatia. Will it be as beautiful across the Adriatic? A little place called Italy. Time will tell. Folks, I'll next see you for a cruise segment where I've given some thought as to where this aeroplane sort of fits in terms of a rating system. And I'll share that rating system with you for what it is worth. I've done a little bit of reflection. It's been an interesting exercise. Anyway, it'll be in the next segment. Alright, we have reached our cruise altitude for this leg. Flight level 260, and Italia is appearing out of our windscreen, folks, and we're not going to spend much time on this flight at all. We are getting along at a decent old clip. We're going to get along the ground at, I would expect, a little bit closer to about 370 knots. At the moment we're doing about 350. So, the rating system that I've mentioned a couple of times. My rating system, for what it's worth. You may have a totally different way of valuing and rating your add-ons. If you do, fill your boots. Good luck to you. I've given it some thought for the purpose of making this video. A little bit of reflection. And I've come up with a really simple way to rate aeroplanes. I call it the smile factor. Smile factor. Because that's what matters to me. I'm here for my enjoyment, my escape from reality. I come here to smile, to enjoy myself. It's kind of why I make videos as well. Hopefully to help other people have a bit of a smile. So, where does this aeroplane sit in my smile factor rating system? So what you're seeing on the screen right now is where this aeroplane sits. Kind of towards, well, it's in the bottom half, right? So I've rated this aeroplane 5 smiles out of 10, right? It's all right. That's not a bad rating. It's not about good or bad. But based on the first flight and based on kind of what I felt after I'd parked it and walked away and had some time to reflect and kind of compare it to the other aircraft, other bizjets in my hangar, this is about middle of the range, right? 5 out of 10 smiles. And what I've done also is put the normal sort of full cost in Aussie dollars. So the developer and the full cost. I didn't pay full price for this aeroplane. I got it on sale, got it on special, as I mentioned at the start. Beneath this aeroplane, I should start. I'll next go there. What's lower than this aeroplane, right? What's beneath it? It's a freeware aircraft, the Global 6000, which I featured in a video the other day. I still give it 5 out of 10. It's actually, it's marginal whether it's gives me more smiles than this Phenom, interestingly enough, and it's freeware. Yeah, it's got a whole lot of stuff missing, and texturing and the modelling is like the modelling here, the visuals here in the Phenom are pretty good for mine. Global 6000 is on a whole nother level, but I like it for what it is, and it's freeware, and that contributes towards how many smiles I get from it. So it's just below this one, the Global 6000. The only other aircraft on the list below that is, I'm afraid to say, another Cockspur aircraft, which is the Mustang. Still gives me smiles, I still enjoy flying it. I haven't flown it much. There's something about it which was a little, it felt a little off to me. But it's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I have other aircraft. So for me, in the bizjet collection that I have, the Mustang's at the bottom. So above the Phenom 100, the next one above that, and it's a toss-up here, the Honda Jet. I like the Honda Jet, don't get me wrong. One of the issues, probably the issue there's one thing that kind of I don't like about it, it's the visibility. It feels really cramped, because it's what it is in real life, but it just doesn't provide a great flight simulation experience for mine. But I still enjoy it, so 7 smiles out of 10. Flown it a fair bit. And alongside it, very close to that for me, is the Citation CJ4, the stock aircraft in the sim. I flew that thing around the world. How many hours did we put on that thing? There was 70-something flights anyway. That much I remember. So I spent a fair bit of time in it. And it's a good aircraft for a stock aircraft. With what working title I've done in the avionics, it's good. So I give that a 7. Above that, I'd place the Vision Jet. Love that little thing. That's good fun. That is really good fun aeroplane to fly. Another VLJ. Yeah, enjoy that more than the Honda Jet. And kind of above that, there's two other bizjets that pretty much guaranteed to give me plenty of smiles every time I fly. One of those is the Learjet, the FlySimWare Learjet. And I'd rate that, I'm rating that pretty highly. I'm giving that 9 out of 10 smiles. I really enjoy flying that thing. It's got character. It continues to be developed. It's a classic bizjet. It's good fun. It's good challenging flying. I like it. I like the bird. But above that, and it's a close call, a lot of these are sort of close calls, folks, but above that, I'd place the Longitude. Yes, the stock aircraft in the sim. For mine, the bizjet that I have in this sim that gives me the most smiles, I really enjoy flying it. Great range, great speed. The avionics setup's fantastic. Flies well. It's just good. I've put a shit ton of hours on that thing, flying it Trans-Pacific and all over Australia, New Zealand, South Pacific, it's a good aircraft, and it's stock in the, you know, premium version of the sim. That for me gives me the most smiles. It was interesting to go through this exercise. And look, folks, it's my opinion for what it's worth, which may not be much. I'm sharing it with you. Trying to place, I think it's useful. I found it useful after a couple of years of having this sim, after picking up a few aircraft. Admittedly, I don't have all the bizjets. There's probably a whole lot more that I don't have. I don't buy every new add-on that comes out. You know, I wouldn't want to, and I can't afford to. And I also don't get given free copies like a lot of your favourite YouTubers do. Right? Most of them disclose that they are being given a freebie. Most of them. But yeah. So this is not a complete set of all the bizjets currently available for the sim. It's just what I have in the hangar. And like I said, the rating system that I've come up with, whether it has any value to anyone else other than me, I have no idea. But that's it for what it's worth, folks. I'll next see you for an approach into Roma. Fiumicino Airport is our destination, and I think we're going to need to start our descent before too long. I'll see you for the concluding stages. Rome, glorious Rome. Please do give me a shout out in the comments if you happen to be watching this from Rome or anywhere in Italy. I would love to hear from you. I know that I do have some viewers in Italy. Google tells me so, and Google would never lie to me, would it? Never. Down through 5,000, folks. We've basically tracking for the final waypoint on an approach to runway 16 left. A visual approach. Weather here is pretty good in Rome this afternoon. It's got to slow down a bit, but we've still got time to get the brakes out, so to speak. No speedy brakes here in the Phenom, of course. But our airport is over there, near the coast. What I might do is give Georgie a rest. Our first landing earlier in this video was, well, it was decent-ish. It was a little bit off-centre. I got distracted by pesky AI traffic, suicidal AI traffic. Hopefully that won't occur for this second landing. It felt very stable during the approach. As I think I've mentioned earlier, it feels like a heavier aircraft than what it is. That's probably my key takeaway. I'll fly it again. There's no doubt about that. I don't mind it at all. When I reflect on some of the early negativity that was coming out about it, it's surprising me how much I've kind of enjoyed it. Probably wouldn't have picked it up had it not been on sale, if I was being honest. I don't think I would have. But I thought, why not? Now this is a terrible approach. We are so high, it isn't funny. We'll take, flaps 2 will take gear. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of space here. Every approach is improvised here, folks. There's a big distance between 16 left and 16 right here in Rome. Wasn't aware of that. Still so high, 150 knots. We'll take flaps 3. Just want to maintain sight, maintain visibility with the runway. We're back at idle. We've got flaps 3. We're going to take full flaps now. Our rate of descent is a leisurely 2,000 feet a minute. We're going to try and slip. How well's a Phenom slip? Let's find out, folks. We started on the runway, and we're slipping down final in a bizjet. We live dangerously here on the channel. You as viewers partake in that as well. I want to say thank you for your support, folks. Those of you that watch most of the videos, if not all of them, and provide support to the old fellow, I do appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. Here we are, final, runway 16 left. Fiumicino. What's our wind doing? Oh, quartering tailwind. It is light. We'll be fine, folks. Nice long strip here. No GA traffic apparent. 3 whites, 1 red. We're slowing down. 95-ish is our VREF. 2 whites, 2 reds. We're on profile. Retrimming. Have faith. Gear down, flaps are set. Our fingers are crossed. And as always, we keep our sphincter tight. Right on VREF for the threshold. A little bit of juicy required to get us there. Beautiful. Here we go. No floaties. Oh, I wasn't supposed to float it. And then he floats it. Anyway, not too bad. Nice and soft, folks. Nice and soft. Folks, thank you for your company in another flight, another video. 2-leg journey with a little bit extra. The smile rating system thrown in at no additional charge. Until we next meet, stay well, enjoy your simming, and keep smiling. Bye for now, folks.